Hi everyone, welcome back to another collective reading. This one is going to be centering around some heavier topics, but I was feeling really inspired to film a reading after going to a memorial service today to support some friends of mine as they're going through the loss of a family member, and I really wanted to record a reading specifically for anyone who is dealing with grief or loss. I also want to clarify that it doesn't necessarily have to be grief or loss of a loved one, of a physical person. It could be that you're mourning over the death of past versions of yourself. So it could be personal transformation related. It could be for anyone who's going through losses of friendships, career changes that have been really hard, unexpected life changes. As I've been preparing to go to this service this week, I've just really been thinking a lot about the unexpected cycles of life and how it's so easy for us to get wrapped up in our own ego and our own plans and assume that life is going to be on our timeline that we want it to be on, when God has other plans. The universe has other plans. Destiny has other plans, whatever word you use to describe the higher power. We don't always know what's around the corner, and we don't know when our last day is. And I've been thinking about that a lot lately. And at this service, the family members describing the person that the service was for kept describing him as someone who lived life really fully and boldly and prioritized his loved ones above all else. I'm weirdly inspired by memorial services, even though they can be really heavy and sad and bring up a lot of mixed emotions, but I find them so inspiring because it's beautiful to hear how people describe their loved ones, kind of like the highlight reel of their life and how big their impact was. And B, I feel that ritual is something that humanity needs at its core. And in our culture, we have lost so much of our sense of ritual and community. And sometimes these challenges we face that we perceive as like really negative and heartbreaking are the catalysts for building community and bringing people together and just remembering what matters. So these themes have really been on my mind lately. And I spoke a little bit in my reading from yesterday about how I've just noticed a lot of cycles ending abruptly recently in many different ways for many different types of people. So again, I don't want this reading to be specifically centering around death, but it could be. If you're going through that right now, if you're grieving, there may be a message in this reading for you. That's my intention as I pull the cards. But this could also just be for anyone feeling a bit lost right now or struggling to stay afloat and adapt to unexpected life changes. It could even be for people mourning like the loss of a dream. Maybe you had a really big dream that you wanted to achieve and you're feeling like you can't get there. I just feel like it's hard to have hope sometimes when life throws curveballs at you, and we're just all going through different versions of the same thing essentially in this crazy human experience we're living. But I just wanted to see if Spirit had any messages for people who might be dealing with stuff like that. And like I said, I think when I was thinking about rituals and reflecting on how that impacts humans, it was making me think about how, for me, filming these readings for the past few days has felt very ritualistic because I don't know who I'm filming these for as I'm setting up and pulling cards. I'm not reading for one specific person. So I like this idea of putting these out there and the energy drawing people to the video who need to see it, that feels like a ritual to me. And that feels very community based. And I hope that it's helpful to someone who watches this just to maybe hear some comforting words or hear a message that resonates to them. But anyway, that's kind of been on my mind today, and I really wanted to film a reading about it. Because, yeah, I know sometimes it's hard to ask for help when you're dealing with grief and loss. So all that being said, let's get into the cards. I thought it would be appropriate to light a candle for this reading. I'm going to use one of my favorite decks. It's called the Voyager Tarot. The vibe of this deck is so otherworldly. Like, it feels like it touches on subjects that are kind of beyond the realm of our day-to-day. I don't even know how to describe it, but I feel like every time I pull from this deck, I get a really profound message. I felt like this would be the right one to use today for some reason. Also, when I was meditating on the energy as I was setting up for this reading, I kept getting, well, first of all, my initial like feeling in my body was this feeling of like a deep like exhale. It was just like a really deep soul exhale. That was the first thing that came up as I was meditating. So you may be coming out of a period of just feeling like really tight, like maybe in a state of hypervigilance or having a lot on your plate where you're feeling like it's almost hard for you to breathe. And it's interesting because my cat all day long has been going like, like there's something in her chest. I think she just has a hairball. She's fine. She's looking at me because she knows I'm talking about her. But I thought that was interesting when I felt that in my body, this like deep release. And right after I was feeling that, she was like trying to hack up her hairball situation. So that may feel relevant to you, even though I know that's kind of silly. You may be having like, you may have been fighting the urge to cry recently, and you're feeling it like wanting to come out of your body, and you're kind of like, like you don't want to let go and just release those feelings. But I think you need to let yourself feel your feelings. If that's been something you've been struggling with, I feel like that's where that deep like exhale is coming from. I think you've reached a stage where you're safe to just like relax, take some deep breaths, decompress a little bit. And if tears come up, they come up, and you're safe to let yourself feel that. The other things that were coming up in the meditation, I kept seeing this like visualization of the sun. Like I was in the clouds and the sun was almost like pulling me towards it. And then I was seeing a tent at night in the wilderness, with like a small fire, and I was hearing cicadas. So I think it might benefit some of y'all to go be out in nature or solitude. You might find a lot of peace in that. And if you've been burning the candle at both ends, having a hard time, just like even getting a breath in, take some time, go be in nature, maybe be in nature by yourself. And that could be really healing. And if you are dealing with the loss of a loved one, that is a great place to communicate with that loved one. Like you may find messages from them in solitude that you wouldn't otherwise pick up on or notice if you're constantly running around like a chicken with your head cut off, like trying to distract yourself or deal with a million things on your plate. Anyway, I just felt like I should put that out there in case it resonated with anyone. But yeah, we're going to get into the Voyager Tarot. Going to pull some cards for this portion of the collective. This is a timeless reading. So if you've been brought to this video and feeling compelled or drawn to watch it, there's a message here for you, regardless of when you watch it. Like I'm feeling like a burp. Like I feel like there's something like stuck in your heart space that's like trying to come out and be expressed. And that's okay. Like don't rush your process. But you're safe to do that if you need to do that. Okay. Spirit, what messages do you have for those in the collective dealing with grief, loss, having a hard time navigating the unexpected changes of life. Wow. The first card out is death. So some of y'all may be dealing with a literal death. I can't say I'm shocked at this point. This deck is like so loud when I talk to it. This is just a season of life. These things that you're feeling that are really heavy right now, this is just a season. It's not going to be forever. I'm looking at the imagery on this card, and there's like autumn leaves in the corner of the card. There's also what looks like a piece of snakeskin down at the bottom of the card. So again, if you're not dealing with a literal death, you may be dealing with just the shedding of old versions of yourself. And sometimes that can feel like loss. Yeah, sometimes that can quite literally feel like you're watching yourself die. And as I said those words, it was 11:11 on my recording time. So that's confirmation for some of you guys. Also in this death card, there is like this is this like face. It might be a mask, but it almost looks like a giant statue or something, like watching over this guy. I feel like you may have someone in your energy field that is watching or guiding you. It's reminding me of like, it's reminding me almost of like spirit guide energy, like you're being observed. Wow, there's also a bird in the corner of this card that's like eating a beetle or an ant or something. And to me, that is just speaking on, without death in a way sustains life. Like this bird is eating this little bug. It has it in its beak. And when I'm looking at it, I'm imagining her like taking this back to her nest, this little dead bug, to feed her babies. So sometimes cycles of death are, well, oftentimes cycles of death happen right before rebirths, new life. Sometimes it feels like it's ripping your heart out, but then simultaneously will inspire you to like access more vibrant levels of your life. Disappointment, the 5 of Cups. So yeah, you guys are going through some heaviness right now. This 5 of Cups card, all of these cups are shattered. So this, whatever this loss was, whether it was a person, a friend, a career, like mourning old versions of yourself, it's feeling devastating right now. It's feeling devastating. Oh my God, this energy is like so heavy. But interestingly, there's also flowers on this card. Like you have all of this like sharp imagery, but then there's flowers, like, and the way they show up in the card, like the first thing I notice is these shattered cups. And then these are almost like a background element. So I feel like subconsciously, you know that there's going to be beauty that comes from this and new life and growth. But right now, I think it's just like, it feels really fresh. You know, when you like break a glass, it's like, like it's very sudden. No one expects to break a glass. This may have been like a sudden ending in your life. It could be the death of a relationship. Oh yeah, I feel like I definitely have to say that after Mercury retrograde, because I feel like a lot of people I knew were dealing with endings in relationships. So you may be going through a breakup, and you may be going through a breakup that was like really unexpected. Like you could have found out a partner was cheating. That might be part of like why I'm feeling this like observation energy from this figure in this card. Like maybe you found something out from like Instagram stalking or like looking in someone's phone. I don't know why that is coming through, but some of y'all might be dealing with a breakup. Yeah, because here's the moon, and the moon speaks on like unseen things and like secrets. It also speaks on our intuition though. So your intuition's on point right now. Oh man. But I'm not getting like a bad, this feels like the lightest card in the spread, honestly. Energetically, like there's these two dolphins down at the bottom. And there's this wolf howling, but there's this like little flower right behind him. And it's like, it's almost giving me this like freedom energy. Then there's these there's two owls. Owls also represent like wisdom and knowledge. So through this death, through the end of this cycle, through this loss, whatever this is, I actually think it's gonna lead you to like new levels of liberation. Yeah, this card is feeling very like raw, kind of. Like raw, it's like giving me like raw, feral energy. It's almost like being, this is kind of a strange analogy, but for whatever reason, it's what's coming through. It reminds me of like being a kid in school and you're like just fucking waiting for the bell to ring so you can like run out of there and just be like, ah, and like unmask and just like get your energy out. It kind of feels like that. So either what's dying was something that was restricting to you, or the restriction of this pain and suffering that you're dealing with is about to end and it's about to lead to liberation. I also associate dolphins with like heightened psychic senses. The ocean may be significant to you. Maybe you're going to the beach. Maybe that's where you live. Both of these cards are depicting the ocean. This Five of Cups card and this Moon card. You might need to scream. I'm just looking at these howling wolves. You might literally need to like, the thing I was saying about being in nature by yourself, you might need to go out in like remote nature and literally scream, or like scream in a pillow, like get all that energy out of your system. And there's a beetle in this bird's beak, which I was pointing out before. There's also a beetle. It looks like a scarab in the corner in this Moon card as well. So I wonder if, yeah, your intuition's on point. I'm looking at the High Priestess right now in this deck, and it also has a dolphin and an owl. Oh my God. You guys might be seeing signs from a loved one that has passed on. Oh my God, I just got chills. Like these cards are almost exactly the same. There's dolphins in both of them. The moon is in both of them. Wow. Yeah, you may be seeing, if you've been experiencing like insane synchronicities, it may be from a loved one that's passed on. And this owl, oh my God, I'm like getting chills. This like energy is so loud. This owl, the way it's looking, like, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but the way this owl is like staring at the viewer of this card reminds me so much of this like watcher energy. So you may have a loved one on the other side that is like literally watching over you right now, or still lingering around in your energy field. You may be seeing owls. Oh my God, this is a really unique energy coming from these cards. Yeah, your psychic vision is on point right now. And a lot of times that happens when we're kind of like cracked open by pain and sorrow. I feel like when we're in like the depths of intense cycles in life and feeling really alone or overwhelmed, sometimes that's when we're the most like intuitive. Because you're really raw in that state. This just feels like a very raw energy. So on that note, it's really important to protect yourself right now. Because you're definitely on a conscious or subconscious level, like exploring the depths of this experience. And yeah, just protect yourself. Like be mindful of your energy. Because you're really emotionally raw. So make sure if you're spending time with other people, make sure those are people that you feel safe with. Wow, and the Ace of Cups, ecstasy. This is all flower imagery with a butterfly. So going through this heartbreak and this just like sharp, I'm just feeling like sharp pain. All of this is going to lead to ecstasy in your life. Like it's like you're being cracked open for new seeds of life to be planted in you. And that could be literal. That could be literal. This could have to do with conceiving a child. Some of y'all might be conceiving a child after like a long, dark period of suffering and grief. The Ace of Cups is just like, it's such a joyful, like passionate card. And there's water in this too. So yeah, I think you're going through this cycle right now. Whatever it is you've dealt with, it has felt really intense. I think you're going through it to expand your heart's capacity to love. And as I'm saying this, I feel myself like wanting to cry. Yeah, your heart space is being expanded. And that could be, maybe you want kids, and that could be to help you be a more compassionate parent. Or just to be more compassionate to yourself and like move through life in a way where you see the beauty and connection in all things. There's water in every single one of these cards. Like, you are so emotionally raw right now. Oh my God. But yeah, it's gonna lead to like whatever sadness, whatever deep sadness or suffering you're feeling right now is eventually gonna lead to the exact opposite, like the most intense level of happiness and joy. I just feel like you're gonna wake up every day and like want to cry, like with gratitude for the things you see in your life. And this butterfly is all about transformation. So this is happening so you can transform. And the sun is glistening on the water in this card. Like up in the corner here. Wow. Okay, Spirit. Please give us another card for the collective. What does the collective need to know about how they should handle this? The Woman of Crystals. This was trying to come out earlier too. You guys are seeing signs from a loved one. You're either seeing signs from a loved one if someone that you care about has passed on. And this card is called Guardian in this deck. I don't know if you can see it. You have literal guardian angels around y'all right now. I'm like getting chills. Yeah, if you've been feeling crazy, like if you've been seeing stuff and being like, oh my fucking God, this is like a sign, you're not crazy. Like you have energies in your field from loved ones who have passed on, or just ancestors, your spirit team, literal guardian angels. Wow. I mean, I just feel like all of these cards are kind of like saying the same thing. I'm also looking at this Woman of Crystals card, and there's all these like crystals in the background that remind me of diamonds, and diamonds only form under pressure. So all this intensity you're experiencing is literally turning you on a spiritual level into a diamond. And diamonds are also like unbreakable. Wow. Okay, I want to pull some cards from a different deck because I feel like these cards are just kind of all saying the same thing. Yeah, this is going to lead to you unlocking new levels of new depths of love and appreciation and gratitude in your life and joy. Like if you weren't going through all this stuff right now, the ending of these cycles, even if it was really abrupt and you're like crashing out on a level you never had before, when you're on the other side, you're gonna be like a completely new person. Like maybe this is gonna help you reprogram some subconscious patterns in yourself you weren't aware of that were like preventing you from fully feeling into your heart space. Like maybe you felt yourself going through just like the motions of life a lot and not like fully appreciating every day or the people around you or your relationships. And this experience is going to change that. Like you are going to feel so it's going to show you who your real friends are. It's going to show you your strengths, and it's going to unlock like new levels of gratitude just for being alive. Wow. You may be going through like a spiritual up-leveling in terms of like, you may be experiencing a spiritual awakening right now. Like all of this like heavy psychic energy may not just be temporary while you're going through this cycle. It may be like a permanent thing. Like if you have felt, if throughout your life you've resonated with the idea that you are hypersensitive, or if you're already aware that you have like a heightened intuitive senses, this may kind of be a time where you're sharpening those senses a bit more in a way that you can channel and actively use in a more intentional way in your life. Maybe some of y'all want to read tarot. Like maybe some of you guys are interested in like the metaphysical arts or like the healing arts. Maybe that's why you're experiencing this like intense stuff right now, is so you have context that you'll need when you go into the healing arts. So you could be a body worker, you could be a doctor, a nurse, you could just be interested in spiritual healing, like you could be a therapist. That's just for some of you guys, obviously. Not everyone is going to resonate with that. But yeah, I feel like this is happening to give you context. Like you can't appreciate the sunshine if there's not rain, you know, whatever that saying is. Okay, I'm going to pull some more cards from this oracle deck that I have. It's called Nature Whispers. I actually forgot I had it until I was going through my cards last night. The person that this memorial service was for was apparently really connected to nature. So I thought it would be appropriate to use this deck in this reading, since that's what inspired me to do this reading today. Spirit, how can these people move forward? How can this person, the collective, move forward from this cycle? Or what's on the other side? Be in service. Again, you may be a healer. This may be leading you to like literally like working with people within the healing arts. You may be drawn to doing charity work. Wow. Yeah, this card is depicting like she almost looks like a little mermaid or something. And she's like feeding this seahorse. She looks like happy. She looks kind of serene. So you may find joy and comfort in helping others. That may, if you're struggling with depression right now and like you really don't know how to get out of it, it might really help you to like go do some type of charity work or help a friend. That may help you like find the meaning in life again. Make a wish. Yeah. Pretty self-explanatory. I feel like, again, I'm just feeling this energy of y'all having like spirit guides or a loved one around you. And I feel like if you need help, you can pray to them or communicate with them and they will help you. Like they're telling me they want you to communicate with them. Amplify your positive emotions. And again, there's more water. And the main thing that I'm noticing about this card is how it's rippling out from like her feet. So I feel like when you make intentional choices towards helping others, maybe helping others just through sharing your experience and being open about it so that you can connect with people on a deeper level, by being in service to others, that's going to amplify your positive emotions. And it's going to have a huge ripple effect. Like, you going through all this crazy shit is somehow going to help other people. Okay, there's another deck I actually like really want to pull a card from. I wasn't planning on using this deck, but for some reason I'm feeling like urgently drawn to use it. This is also a really deep deck. It kind of reminds me of the first one we used, even though the imagery is very different. It's called the Fountain Tarot. Yeah, so just stay positive. And when I'm looking at this Make-A-Wish card, it's like, again, the High Priestess, like right on the bottom of the deck. You guys are so in tune with like your psychic senses right now. And like the other side, the unseen realms. Like you're really, I feel like you're in those realms right now. So yeah, it might be really important for you to ground. Maybe that's why I was seeing that image of the tent in the woods. You might need to go do something in nature that feels grounding to you. Because sometimes like when we're in a state where we're feeling highly intuitive and really raw, you can almost start floating away like from planet Earth in a spiritual sense. And that can be kind of intense. It can make it kind of hard to relate to other people too. So make sure you're remembering to ground and just stay hopeful. Like when you make a wish, it's like a prayer for the future. Like having dreams and holding on to hope is so important just for like the human spirit, like the strength of the human spirit. So yeah, don't let your dreams die, even if it feels like really intense right now. Oh, I'm so sorry, you guys. Yeah, do not let your dreams die. Two of Cups. You have support around you. You at least have one other person kind of going through this with you. Like this man is just kind of like comforting this woman, and it's like they're looking up in the sky at these floating cups. Again, it's like just a reminder to keep dreaming. Like hold on to hope for the future. Because you have people in your life that understand what you're going through and want to support you and be there for you, and you can lean on them. Like, and that may be the ultimate point of this cycle, is just to show you again, like who your real friends are, who you can lean on, and who you can trust to be like open and vulnerable with. And that's going to lead to like deep, deep levels of healing. The Two of Cups always makes me think of partnership. So you may have a partner that's going through this cycle with you, or you may have lost a partner. Judgment. Wow. I want to read the description on this Judgment card. You may be feeling a bit like you can't see what lies ahead, because this guy in the middle of this card is like covered in a shroud. It also kind of reminds me of like a sensory deprivation tank. Maybe you need to go to a float tank. Random, but maybe that's confirmation for someone. That might help you get in touch with like some of these deeper emotions coming up. But yeah, like this person, it's like if he just took this veil off of his head, he would be able to see forward into the future. But you may be feeling a bit like you can't see what's ahead right now. And that may be leaving you feeling a bit vulnerable, understandably. Oh man, this deck really wants to talk right now. Yeah, the Hermit. again, you might just be in this period of feeling like you're almost too raw to like be around other people, or like you can't talk about this stuff yet. Yeah, and this card, it's like a nighttime scene in nature. It almost looks like this person is like standing in snow in the woods. This kind of reminds me of that scene I was seeing in my meditation. Like, just, it's like the middle of nowhere. So yeah, that might help you just to get away from society, get away from people. That may feel really healing to you. Yeah. Oh God, you guys just have been stabbed in the heart by whatever this is. Yeah, and then the moon again, like, you guys seriously might be going through a spiritual awakening. Wow. Yeah, it's just like so much sword energy. It's like every card, and the death card again. Like, I feel like this is just emphasizing the spread we've already done. So I'm not going to take any more cards because it's just feeling a bit redundant. But yeah, you're in a really intense cycle right now. You may be learning, or you may need to learn new tools, new emotional tools to learn how to cope with like this new level of sensitivity you're developing. And that might feel a little impossible because you may just not be used to feeling this much. But you have people in your life who might be able to help you. I think whenever you're ready to open up about the stuff that you're going through, somehow it's going to have this like huge healing effect, not just on you, but on people around you. I feel like it's going to change the way you look at the world. Yeah, because I just feel like, again, so many of these cards just have kind of an observation energy, which again, I was interpreting as like you being observed by your guides or by an ancestor or a loved one. But this might be you. It may be making you temporarily or long term a bit more of an observer in your life. Yeah, you may just be seeing symbols and signs in places that you never viewed as significant before. Everything you're experiencing may be feeling like a sign right now. You also might find water really healing. Some of y'all might need to start taking Epsom salt baths if you're feeling really like psychically or spiritually overwhelmed. That can be really grounding. Because the thing is, when I may have mentioned this before in this reading, I'm not keeping track of everything that's coming out of my mouth right now, so sorry if I already said this, but when you're in a state where you're really raw spiritually and emotionally, that also leaves you vulnerable to like psychic attack, and like picking up on other people's emotions. So just make sure you have like some type of grounding practice in your day-to-day, where you can come back into your body. Give that like deep exhale that I was feeling before I started this reading, and just kind of recenter yourself and think about your hopes and dreams. Think about your hopes and dreams every day and know that they're on their way to you. They haven't died just because you're dealing with like this really intense cycle. Oh yeah. After all of this, you're going to feel like you hit the jackpot in your life when it comes to like your outlook and everything around you. This is giving me fertility energy from this card for some reason. I'm actually going to read the description of this ecstasy card, this Ace of Cups card. I feel like that's a good card to close on. Yeah, hang in there, you guys. This is heavy. Let's see. The Ace of Cups. I cannot believe the first card that came out was the Death card. That's crazy. Okay. The Ace of Cups, ecstasy. Ecstasy is a transcendent emotional experience, like feeling struck by the white light of the divine in a garden of paradise. The rainbow of colors, sweet fragrance, and exquisite beauty of this flower garland describes bliss, exaltation, and joy. You are up in the clouds, flying high in the cloud of flower cups. The flowing waterfalls represent the expression of your emotional abundance as it spills over and is shared with others. The blossoming flowers suggest the fleeting nature of this peak experience. You are about to be like the happiest you have ever been in your life. And it's because of all of this that you're dealing with. If you are someone who struggles with depression, you may be able to relate to this if you have found ways to effectively pull yourself out of it. When you're someone who deals with depression or even thoughts of like hurting yourself or horrible things beyond that, when you can pull yourself out of it and just like feel okay, it feels like it's almost like when you have been really sick for a week and then you finally get better, like you're no longer feeling sick, you no longer have a fever, and you're like, oh my God, I'll never take my health for granted ever again. That's the vibe this is giving me. Like after you make it out on the other side of this experience, the things that matter to you, you will never take them for granted ever again. Like it's going to unlock such deep levels of like appreciation and joy in your life. And that's going to inspire others. Because it's easy to take things in our life for granted. But when you see someone who like truly loves their life and the people in it and like never misses an opportunity to like share that joy and gratitude with those people, it's so inspiring. It like makes you want to call everyone you love and just be like, hey, I love you. Yeah, so after the end of this cycle, it's going to give you just a totally new context of which you'll be living your life. And just like a new level of peace. Because even though you're going through this like really sharp, unexpected turn of events or loss, once you realize that you can adequately adapt and cope and get through that stuff, it's gonna almost like take some pressure off. Like you'll just know that whatever life throws at you, you can handle it. You're gonna be like, yeah, I'm qualified to deal with whatever. It may be hard. It may make me feel like I'm breaking down like in every fiber of my being, but I'm gonna get through it and I'll be okay. And then I'll be so happy for everything I have. And I won't view it as guaranteed, so I'll appreciate it even more. And you have support around you. Like I said, this Two of Cups card, like you may be in like a partnership that's really helping you like move through this cycle. And if you're not in a partnership, you may be calling in a partnership or someone, another person or people in your life who can help you get through some of this stuff. So if that's making you think of a particular person, you can trust them if you need help or support, because they have your back and they're going to help you keep your dreams and your sense of optimism and hope alive. And that is so beautiful. That's all any of us could ever ask for in life, really, is like a few people that we like really love. Like I feel like I'm going to cry just like talking about this. I want to read this Two of Cups card too. In the fountain deck. Let's see. Cosmic Affinity, Two of Cups. The Two of Cups is crystal clear. It represents a deep, powerful connection between two energies. It may be between potential lovers, friends, strangers, or a person and an experience. In any case, the recognition of synergy is unmistakable. When two spirits of this magnitude unite, the universe feels personal and there is no telling what magic might be created. Of course, this beautiful moment does require action. What you do with it is up to you. Wow. Yeah, some of you guys are in a beautiful partnership that's going to help you get through this. And this whole experience is going to help you strengthen your partnership. Like, you may reach new levels of like emotional intimacy and safety in your partnership because of all of this stuff. And this may just be a deepened relationship with like a facet of yourself. Or if you've lost a person, if this is somebody that you've lost and you had like a challenging relationship with them, losing them physically may help you heal the relationship. Like, I remember when my grandmother died, listening to my aunt talk about how in her death, she felt like it healed their relationship on a spiritual level, because she could, even though they had a lot of tension between them, like in the physical world, but in their relationship, once my grandmother passed away, my aunt felt like she could finally talk to her in the way she always wanted to, like just in a loving energy, with no like trauma, no like painful memories attached, because she was in spirit now, you know. And when people go back into the spirit realm, it's like everything from the ego is stripped away. Any unconscious behaviors they were acting on that was affecting other people, like any trauma, like all of that is gone. It's just their soul's essence. It's in the light, and it's like it's like the ultimate cleansing of the spirit and the soul. So if you've lost someone that you had like a weird relationship with, and it's kind of like been hard for you to deal with because there was some unresolved stuff, you may be able to communicate with that person now, like in the spirit realm, on a level that you always wished you could in real life, especially because your psychic senses are like so heightened right now. You might really feel crazy, like you're just seeing stuff that is resonating and you're like, am I tripping out? No, like it's everything that you're perceiving is spot on. Doesn't matter if other people can see that or not. So yeah, you have beautiful support around you. You have beautiful support. You can lean on it at any time. You don't have to. You might feel like the best thing is just to be alone right now so you can ground and recenter, but you have the support. And all of this stuff you're going through is going to deepen your relationships and your relationship to life in such a beautiful way. So hang in there, guys. Hang in there. Ask for help if you need it. And just trust that the divine has got your back. And so does your entire spirit team. I love you guys. I will see you in the next reading.